I have two of the new Morphe eyeshadow palettes, as well as a stack full of makeup that has recently been released in 2025. And we're just going to do a full face of makeup, like a get ready with me, first impressions on these eyeshadow palettes from Morphe, and let's get into this video. What is going to work on mature skin? That is the question for today. So I just put on the Ordinary Milky Drops, and now we're going to go in with the Thirst Burst Drops from e.l.f. Have these been released in 2025? I believe so. They became super popular because of the Shelby Ann like viral makeup routine, which I did try to duplicate that for mature skin. And that is up on my channel if you guys want to check that out. But we have the Thirst Burst Drops from e.l.f. And my thoughts on these is that they're really similar to the Niacinamide Dewdrops from Glow Recipe, like super, super similar. And they do have really similar ingredients in them as well. And I actually really like the Thirst Burst Drops. I think that they're a great affordable option for the Niacinamide Dewdrops. I'm trying to let my hair go back to its like natural curly state. So I apologize if Medusa is Medusa-ing today. She's like, let's just Medusa today. We finally got a break in the weather, so it's been like actually nice for once. Like it's raining, but I'm like enjoying it. So that's what's going on today. This is the Well Glow Unseen Sunscreen. Not a new release, but I do want some SPF on. I've actually been really liking this a lot. And I'm really surprised because usually I don't like sunscreens. They leave me feeling a little bit like oily and it doesn't feel right on my skin. But these have actually really been like a staple of mine since I received this sample size. And I've really been enjoying the Well Glow Unseen Sunscreen. The shade is Sunbeam, and this layers really nicely with makeup too. I feel like I might have put just a little bit too much on. So this Well Glow sunscreen, it really does layer nicely with makeup, and I do feel like it provides a pretty, I mean, it's an SPF of 30, but the thing I really like about it is that it has like this like sheen, this like glow to it, and then it also does not like mess with my makeup when it's underneath it. It really like, it just works so well with any of the makeup that I have layered on it, and I really enjoy it. So I actually really have been enjoying this sunscreen quite a bit, and I may be apt to purchase the full-size model of it after I finish up my sample size of it, because this actually I'm pretty impressed by. I actually cannot believe how much I like it and how much like I just like the way it makes my skin look and feel. I'm gonna let this sit for a minute because there was a lot in there. Like it doesn't feel super oily, and it just leaves my skin looking like super glowy, and I'm also getting that SPF protection in there, which I absolutely love, and my face is like ready for makeup too. So I have not bought this brand in a hot minute. There was so much behind me not wanting to purchase this brand because there was a lot of things going on with this brand. I mean, they went through bankruptcy, and then they also had some other things that were going on behind the scenes, and then they were actually purchased by somebody else, and it looks like they are doing pretty well for themselves. I'm talking about Morphe. So this is one of their foundation brushes, and I'm actually going to be using the Milani Skin Tint Stick today. This is a new makeup release from this year, and everybody compares this to the Fenty Beauty one. Honestly, oh wow, I'm like painted. Honestly, I don't think that this is anything like the Fenty Beauty one. I think this one is a million times better, to be honest with you. It actually wears down really nicely, and it really just like melts into the skin. And the way that it wears down throughout the day is really beautiful as well. I don't have any problems with this at all. If you guys have seen my Fenty Beauty, like I have actually not really been very impressed with that stick at all. And this one does not perform like it. The Fenty stick on me, I don't know what it is. Maybe my skin is just too dry or something for that one. But the Fenty stick just tends to like wear down really weird on my face. And I was getting like really bad cakiness, especially on like some problem areas that tend to be like on my nose and on my chin. Like it was really just like cakey and it did not look good. And I would look at myself in the mirror and I'd be like, wow, what is going on with my makeup with that Fenty skin tint? Now, I think that this is such a beautiful formula. It's very, very emollient and malleable. I mean, it just kind of like sinks into your skin and it really just layers nicely on top of a lot of other products. And you can layer this to be more like not full coverage, but like a medium coverage, or you can do like a light coverage of this because it is more like a skin tint. But honestly, like this one is so much better than the Fenty one. I don't like the Fenty one. I think the Fenty one is just, it just doesn't work on somebody with dry skin at all. And I have combo skin, so it depends on the season I'm wearing it in. But if it's in like dry season time, the Fenty skin tint does not work on me like at all. Whereas this Conceal and Perfect one, it's gorgeous. So I'm just gonna pat a little bit more on some of my problem areas where my skin is still showing through a little bit. And then we're gonna move on to like the rest of my makeup. This brush. So this is their foundation brush. It is the M103. I actually like how it is really like look how it's applying to the face. It's not super, super stiff where it's just kind of like creating streaks. It's soft enough that like it's really blending this product into my skin and it's creating like this airbrushed look with it. It's like really, this is a good brush. I actually really like this. I thought it was going to be a little bit more stiff and I like how like flexible that is. That's actually really good. Another new release in 2025. This is the L'Oreal Skin Ink. And so far, upon trying this, I have found that it is super serumy and super skin-like. Now, this skin ink is actually marketed as like you could use it as a foundation or a concealer. And I typically just use this as a concealer. I don't think it can be used as a foundation because it is very, very thin and like serumy in consistency. But I do like the way that it wears down. It looks so nice on my skin and on my under eyes. I am over 36. So I am over 30, I'm 36. I turned 36 in March. So I am 36 years old, the climate that I live in. Again, I get 4 seasons, and this is just a very thin formula. Like, look how nice and like natural that looks. And honestly, it's just like this very thin skin looking formula. And I truly just, I enjoy it. It's so nice. It has a pretty decent shade range. I ended up getting a shade that I thought was more of a cool toned. It is 20 neutral. This looks yellow on my skin, which is one thing I don't like, but when I'm concealing the purple on my under eyes, the yellow cancels it out really nicely, even though it's supposed to be like a neutral tone. Keep that in mind if you look at the skin ink from L'Oreal. Very, very serum-like. It does really look nice on, you know, my mature skin, and it is very, very serum-like. Now we're going to use a bronzer. A bronzer that is a new release in 2025. We have the Juvia's Place Cream Bronzer. This is their bronzed cream bronzer in Butter Cream. It's like a cool tone shade, and I like to apply it with a Sigma Beauty brush. This is the like multitasking brush, the number F47. This is an awesome foundation brush, but it's also an awesome like cream bronzer brush, and it is also a great cream blush brush as well. And the shade Buttercream is a little bit more cool toned on me. I found that this is like super blendable and you can really create a nice like contour look with it and really like shade your face the way that you want to. But it also has a little bit of that like where I'm able to go in and make myself look like sun-kissed as well. So we're literally warming up my face because I feel like I'm a little bit flushed, like a little bit washed out. It like literally becomes one with the skin, and you'll notice it doesn't over accentuate any of my pores, and it really just adds this nice depth to my face. This is definitely like probably one of my favorite cream bronzers I have ever tried. And yeah, it comes in a pot formula, but like it's just, it is such a good malleable formula. Like just it warms up my face so nicely and I'm obsessed with it. I think it's so good. It was probably this is probably one of the best. Like I kind of wish it was like not a screw on top. Like why couldn't they do like a top that like flips up or something? But other than that, like other than the packaging, this is definitely one of those bronzers that like if you're over the age of 30, you are not going to get over texturization or like any kind of exaggeration of your pores. I want Barbie pink blush today because I'm in the mood for it. We're in summer now. And this is the Blush palette from the Sephora collection. So it comes with a cream and two powders. I think that this is it is a really good formulation. It is very, very pigmented. The shade for this one is oh, Candy Lover. So this is like super pink. And the cream portion, like look how pigmented this is. But this just like melts into your skin like butter. And it does not accentuate any like over texturization or anything like that. It is super pretty. And you can go in with like a super heavy hand, or you can go in with like a little bit lighter of a hand, and it just like blends into the skin and it just like melts into the skin. I feel very like flushed today. I literally just barely tapped into this product and it just is so pigmented and it's so creamy, but it doesn't leave your face feeling sticky at the end of the application process. It's so pretty. Now we're going to go into setting the under eyes. So I have the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection powder. I have the shade pink, light pink, and then I also have the translucent shade. I find the translucent shade, it definitely blurs me out a lot more than the pink shade. The pink shade is definitely more brightening, and I like both of these, but I usually apply a layer of the pink to brighten the eyes, and you'll see it just kind of like blurs everything. And yeah, it mattifies you a little bit. I mean, it's a powder, it's going to do that. It's not going to create like, this big luminous glow. But I have found that this pink shade is actually a little bit lighter than some of the other pink shades that I have, but it is really finely milled. It does really nicely blur out, everything. Like it just blurred my chin really nicely. And the pink is just so brightening. I also have found that I really like the translucent shade, and this one is really good for like if you don't want pink on on your chin or anything like that. And typically I like to go in and I just like set this in places where I need my foundation set. So like here and across here. And I really like this translucent shade specifically for this, just to like blur out everything on my skin where I don't want pink. And you'll see it blurs and it just perfects, and it's such a pretty powder. Like look how blurred I am besides like the cream product. Like that's gorgeous. Now we're going to go into the powder portion of this. This actually has like a luminizing version, and it also has a matte powder. I don't like the luminescent version in this. It's not luminescent enough. It's still pretty matte. So I do like to mix these two together because it really isn't like a very luminescent shade. It's just kind of like it's like a satin shade, but you'll notice it's still super pigmented and it's really pretty. And I can't get enough of that one. I think it's really good. Now we're going to do powder bronzer. This is the reformulated. Honestly, they repackaged everything with Sephora collection. I don't know if it's reformulated or not, but this is the Sephora collection bronzer. The shade that I have is 01 Golden Gateway. And I love this because it is just enough of like it's not too warm if you are a cool undertone like me. Like it's just like the perfect shade to really like warm up and bronze the face. And I really have been enjoying this one. I did do like a face of like, are we missing out on the Sephora collection? If you guys want to go check out that video, but that's where I have these two from. They are so good. And I know that Sephora Collection did repackage a lot of their things, and Sephora Collection has always had a really good formulation as well. Like they've always had a really high-end formulation for being an in-house brand, but I'm pretty sure that I know that this is new. I'm not quite sure about this being new. I think it's new in 2025. I've seen actually quite a few people like talk about it and they're like, it's so good. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible 30-second setting mist, and it says it has 36-hour wear. I actually picked this up in Vegas. This is not the original bottle that I picked up in Vegas, but I actually picked this up for Vegas when I went in December of 2024, and I have gone through like 4 of those. That's how good it is. It's so good. They released it late 2024, and it is so good. Like, look at this. My face looks really pretty and like really summery, and now I'm ready to dip into these. I'm ready. I'm ready to see what everything is all about with these Morphe palettes. So the first one that I have is this is a brown one called Rich Glitch. And honestly, I just got the more neutral ones because I'm actually doing a lot of traveling this summer. And I was like, a 6-pan eyeshadow palette is the way to go for me. So this is the Rich Glitch eyeshadow palette. 6 shades. You have 2 of these like metallic chrome shades in here, and then this one has 3 mattes, and then you also have like a foil shade as well, which is down here. But the color story is really pretty. This one actually has a like duochrome shift to it. It is shifting like pearlish pearlescent to a purpley pink. So beautiful. And then we also have this one, ruining my nails opening all these packages. But we have the second one, and this one is Love Bite. Also a 6-pan, and this is also from Morphe, and this is a pink color story. Like, look how pretty this is. This is like a mauve color story. Ignore my nail polish kind of like chipped off. But we have this color story here. Again, this one actually has 2 mattes. It has a sequin matte, and then it has a foil shade, and then these 2 chromatic shades. This one almost looks like a holochrome, and it has like this like purpley gold shift in it. So it's almost like a holochrome, and it's called Eyeing You. So that is really pretty. These are called chrome shades. So they're supposed to be super impactful, pigmented, like you can wet it down, and it's supposed to be like super impactful. What am I feeling today? I mean, I have a lot of like pink on. I'm kind of like, which one do we want to try? This, like, the packaging is so pretty on these. That's upside down. Look at the packaging on these. Like, Morphe, you stepped up your game even with the packaging. Like, these are. Anybody else remember when Morphe did like the 32-pan palettes that like just was so overwhelming? Yeah, raise your hand. Me, I am that person. I remember having all the 32s, and I couldn't. Like, it was just too overwhelming. I am gonna moisten my lips real quick. This is another thing from the Sephora collection that is new. It is the like shine. I can't remember exactly what it's called. The Sheer Shine Brilliance in Flashing Lights. And it's just like a lip balm, more or less. And it kind of reminds me of like the Fenty Gloss Bomb sticks. But this is so pretty in the shade Flashing Lights, and it's just like this really nice sheen on your lips, and it's very moisturizing. Love it. I love popping that on. Sometimes I'll put like a lip liner with it. Since I don't know where my eye base primer is, we're gonna put on a concealer. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. Just doing a couple dots. No idea where my eye base primer went. No idea at all. And then I'm just gonna put this on the lid. This is like a very creamy concealer, and it's also very full coverage. I actually like using this quite a bit, and I'll use it to prime my lids as well because it is like this really nice neutral base to it. And then let's go in with the eyeshadow. So we have 6 shades here, and I dropped one. It got a little broken, but we have these beautiful shades right here. The first shade is called, I believe, Champagne Hookup. That's pretty, and it swatches out really, really nicely. Super reflective, super buttery. Like, look how pretty that is. And then the next one is Wine and Shine. This is one of those chromatic shades you can see here. And this is going to be the one that you can really just like make impactful on your eye. That one's really pretty. It actually has almost like a purple shift to it. Really, that's really pretty. And it's like super soft. Like, when I think of the formulation of this, it almost feels like it might be a baked formulation. And then we have this shade right here. It's called Virtual Romance. This is that sequin, which with sequins, like, this is just going to translate as matte across the eye. That's all it's going to do. And that one's really pigmented as well. Purple shades are really hard to do. And usually the mauvier shades are kind of hard to do as well because they have that purple tone in it. This one is Darling Domain. This one was really silky in the pan as well. Really silky, and it's like a mauvey purpley pink. And then we have 2 shades left. Eyeing You, which I said this one's like a hollow chrome. I swear it is. It's got this really beautiful like brown, but it also has this like hollow feel to it. Swatches out really nicely. Super pretty. I actually really like that one because it's got like more of a brown base to it, and it's also sparkly. And then the last one is this, wow, really dark brown shade. This is pigmented, and look how that's swatched. Wow. Holy cow, Morphe. Like, that's pretty. I'm thoroughly impressed, especially with this one, because I remember that they're dark matte shades. They just did not, they didn't work very well. I'm gonna use this one, and then I will swatch the other one for you guys so you guys can see. But oh wow, like I'm actually really surprised at how these like swatched out. Super pretty. So let's see what the hype is about with these. I mean, in swatch form, I can see what it's about. We're doing Virtual Romance, which is that sequin shade. And we're just gonna pat out the lid real quick. This is that sequin shade. And like I said, the sequins are just gonna kind of like, the sequins are gonna buff out. Like it's not really gonna show a sequin at all. It's just gonna be like kind of there, but kind of not really. Like I could pass on sequin shades. I think I don't know, they're just so lackluster. Just give me a matte shade. I don't want sequins in it. This is actually blending out really well though. It is super powdery in the pan. I do want to make note of that. I mean, that doesn't really mean anything. It just means that it's more of a like fluffier formula. Fluffier, you know what I mean? It's not like super hard pressed into the pan, which is fine. But that was the first shade. I am going to go in with a little bit of this one. This is Unfiltered Feelings. And then I'm going to use Unfiltered Feelings. This one's a little bit more pinkish. Ooh, there's lots of fallout right here. That I don't like. I don't like fallout. So at the end, before I like spray my face again, I will have to go in and I will have to hopefully clean that up, but it's definitely a lot of fallout. Good thing it's like a pink shade because it's like it fell right on my blush. Okay. Other than that, this is a really pretty shade. It is blending out nicely. No problems there. Just lots of fallout. I feel like my eyes are a little bit dramatic. Now I want to try this shade. Really tap that off, and I'm just gonna like pat this on the outer corner. I want to see how this blends because when I swatched it, it was like so pigmented, but I have been noticing that some creators have actually been having problems with these darker shades when I've been watching, and uh, so I want to see if this one in this palette specifically is a good formulation. I mean, it's okay. It's not, I mean, I'm going in with like a super light hand. I'm not experiencing any kind of like patchiness right now. We're just going in with like the lightest hand possible. Like that. I have a very like smoky eye going. Oh, we're very 2016 eyes today. So far, I'm having a pretty easy time using these though. So these look really nice. All right, I want to use the pink shade and I want to use this shade. Wet down my brush. Now we're going to dip into that chroma shade, this one right here. Wine and Shine. I'm going to place this right in the middle of the lid. I mean, is it chrome? Very dark. I feel very like very grungy right now. So it is supposed to turn into this like molten chromatic shade when you get it wet. It doesn't really feel super chromatic by any means. It feels very like dark and moody, but it doesn't feel very like chrome. Like it's very dark. Like don't get me wrong, it's super dark, but it doesn't feel very chromatic to me. Like it feels kind of lackluster. It's pretty, don't get me wrong, but I was expecting more like chrome, like more of a chrome out of this, like reflective chrome. It's not really wowing me. The formulation is good. It's just not being very chromatic. So I'm actually going to apply this shade right here, the champagne shade called Champagne Hookup. And this is just a metallic. This is more metallic than the chrome shade. What on earth? And I didn't even wet down the brush. Like this just picked up so nicely on the brush. Like this is what I was expecting out of that chrome shade. Like look at that. Did not wet down my brush at all. And that picked up way better than what the chrome shade did. Way better. So I'm just going to take my finger like this and like pat it on. I was truly expecting this to be like a super chromatic, like if you get it wet, but like honestly, the foil shade ended up like picking it up way better. And now I kind of feel like I'm so overdone with my eyes, but that's okay. I feel a little bit like 2016 me right now. So the chrome shade, it's interesting. It's like not super chrome. I feel very vampy right now, like super vampy. Like I feel kind of like, I mean, I have been driving like wanting to watch like Halloween movies lately, even though we're like in summer. So I mean, that makes sense, right? But that's what it looks like. Hey, I'm actually really pleasantly surprised by the foil shade. The foil shade is actually really pretty. I want to swatch out for you guys the Rich Glitch shade as well. This is more cool toned, and that's what really drew me to it, is that it is cool toned. I'm actually going to take a little bit of this shade right here, and it is called Hush Money, I believe. Yeah, we're just going to use this to highlight the brow bone. Okay, so there's Hush Money. So it is like a really beautiful skin tone shade, very almost like white. It does swatch out really nicely. Very nice matte shade. Very, very bright. Like that's super bright. And then we have this shade called Champagne Splash. This is that one that I said has like a purple. That's like almost an eyeshadow topper. This is pretty. It is. It's like an eyeshadow topper. It's like chunky and like really pretty. Okay, well, we're gonna put some of you like right here. Oh wow. Okay, that is pretty. I will having this on, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm supposed to be swatching, and I'm like, oh, let's just like, play with this more. I'm gonna sweep this like this. That is a really pretty shade. It's like dancing glitter on my lids, like super pretty. Super pretty. I really like that one. This one is called Taupe Tear. Just a taupey brown shade. Really, really love taupey browns. I'm a taupey brown person. Swatches out really nicely. And we have this shade right here. It is called Stealth Wealth. This is another foil shade. This one's actually really pretty. It's got like this taupish brownish undertone to it. Super pretty. Again, cool toned. I love cool tones. And then we have this shade right here called Cool Millions. This one's actually really pretty too. Ooh, very, very, very like chromatic and very dark and grungy. But actually, when you like swatch this out, it's like super toppery too. That's really pretty. Actually, I could see that being like a one and done shade. And then we also have a brown shade as well. This one looks really similar to the one in the other palette. And this shade is called High Brown. And this one's a little bit more cool toned. This one's a little bit more black. This one's a little bit more cool toned. So they are a little bit different, but those really swatched out nicely. I have a feeling I'm going to like this one a lot. I really like, this is the difference between the two. You guys can see here the difference between the two. I really like the taupey one a lot more than the pink one. Okay, so first impressions on these. These are actually, they kind of are surprising. I'm a little bit taken aback by this shade right here. Not so great. But other than that, like these are really, really good compared to what Morphe used to be. Like Morphe used to be just like this brand that, I don't know, nobody really talked about them for a really long time because there was there was so much controversy behind Morphe at one point. And so these are actually surprisingly good and they're travel friendly and the packaging is really good too. So we're going to do my mascara and my brows. In the theme of this video, we're going to use this new release in 2025, the Colossal Bubble Mascara from Maybelline. And this has actually been kind of a favorite of mine. I found that this is such a beautiful formulation. It's not too thick and it's not too runny either. It's really easy to get this into my lashes and separate them and make them look full and lengthened and long. I've actually had this tube open for probably a couple weeks now, and it really hasn't thickened up too terribly much, and it's not a hard formula to work with by any means at all. Like it's so pretty and it creates this like beautiful lash. It is not a tubing mascara. You know, contrary to popular belief, it is not a tubing mascara. This is definitely just a washable mascara. Honestly, if this was a tubing mascara with this formulation, but it also tubed, can you imagine the type of lashes you would get with this? Because it does lengthen, it does separate, and it adds a lot of nice volume to the lashes. I also have found that it doesn't really transfer anywhere like on my lower lash line. I don't get raccoon eyes with this. It does wash off really, really nicely at the end of the night too. Sometimes I have to do I do a double cleanse with my eyes, and that tends to help a lot too. But other than that, like it does come off nicely. I haven't found that it's like damaged my lashes at all. There are some mascaras out there that will like damage your lashes because they're just so hard to get off. But one thing to keep note of is like if you do have shorter lashes, it does make them look lengthened and a little bit longer. And I know that as we tend to get older, our lashes tend to be less full. So that is something that I really like about this mascara, is that it makes my lashes look so full. I do have really long lashes anyway. Like my lashes are pretty long, but it does just give it like this nice lift, volume, length. Super good. Okay, now we're gonna go in with a brow, the Super Fluff from Maybelline. This one's, it's okay. I find that the wand gets a little bit wonky and it can tend to gunk up sometimes. So it is a little bit hard to work with depending on like, you need to make sure that you clean this thing off, because if you don't, it's not going to work very well. But after I clean it off and I get the right amount of product on there, it does like fluff my brows nicely, and it does coat them nicely. But you'll see like there was a clump on the brush and it got clumped onto my eyebrow. So I'm going to have to go in and fix that. It does make them fluffy, and the shade that I have does match my brows because my brows are dark, like a dark brown. But like there's just something about the formulation where it's almost a little bit too thick, and like sometimes it'll clump. You see here, it clumps and then I have to wipe it away. So that is one thing I don't like about that formulation. It's just that it can be a little bit wonky or clunky. Okay. Besides Medusa-ing, this is what the completed face looks like with everything that was released in 2025 and or at the end of 2024. I do have to spray my face one more time. Like makeup has definitely come a long way, and we have a lot of good product. I'm actually going to be filming soon my 2025 like favorites. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you are subscribed, and I hope I get to see you in my next video.